What is up, y'all? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is well. So obviously a couple of days ago we got the strike pass, and I have my reaction to it, right? Sort of like, I guess you want to call it a hot take per se, but I was able to take a couple days here and reflect on this a little bit more, and I wanted to take more of an objective look, and I realized that to a certain extent Scopely actually did address some of the bottlenecks here. Don't like how they did it, but they did actually address some of the bottlenecks in some of the areas that we definitely needed for them to improve on here. So I kind of went through this and looked at this here. I did go ahead and buy the strike pass. It was actually a donation gifted to me here, and it forced me to kind of look at this a little bit more objectively. And as I kind of sort of progressed, and so you can see we're currently at 8 right now. We did buy the $20 premium pass. We've been able to get some of these rewards so far. I added up the numbers on these, so I'm at level 3 on the strike pass, and this is kind of where I'm at in terms of what if I complete all of these objectives. This is where I'm going to be at the very end of it, right? So I didn't calculate like the gold and credits and the silver promotion credits because they're minuscule at best, so I didn't really go through that. But in terms of the other things that you're going to be getting for orange elite orbs, I'm going to be getting 40 orange elite orbs at strike pass 3. I'm going to be getting 96 orange gear raid orbs, 550 cores in total, 3 ability orbs, because we all want more ability orbs, 6 training orbs, 29 purple gear raid orbs, 240 ABCs and SBCs, and then you're also going to be getting some other stuff like your T1 ion orbs, as you can see here, your other superior orange, stat catalysts, and the focus catalysts are actually a really big bottleneck for me right now. Damage catalysts are also another really big bottleneck for me as well. So the strike pass, for a lot of us, what we thought was that this was actually going to be a pass that alleviated a lot of these bottlenecks that we had in the game. The bottlenecks, there's a lot of them, right? Far too many bottlenecks that we definitely don't need to have. A lot of it being purple gear, your ABCs, if you're sort of at that mid game level, and definitely, at your earlier point, purple gear is definitely going to start to be a problem too as well. Once you start to get into like level 64, level 63 or so, you're going to start to have a little bit of a struggle when it comes to even purple gear. Other things like your gold, your red stars, those are absolutely big bottlenecks. And those are 2 actual bottlenecks that were not really addressed with the strike pass. If we take a look at just, this strike pass here, I'm only getting at strike level 3, I'm only getting 6,000 orb fragments. But in general, what that adds up to is 3 gold orbs, which doesn't really do much. That's 450,000 gold at a bare minimum. If I open all of those and only get the bare minimum of the 150 per orb, I'm only gonna have 450,000 gold, which is not really even enough to take a character from, well, I guess it is enough to take a character from level 75 to 76, but then I need so much more of that, to be able to get the character all the way up to level 80. So for me, when I looked at the strike pass, I'm like, yes, they addressed some of the bottlenecks, right? They addressed it in their own Scopely way, but it's not the way that we intended for them to be able to address it. If we compare the strike pass to, let's say, RTA, right? The battle pass. Now, RTA, in my opinion, is just real-time arena is a horrible game mode, right? And if you're not here yet, once you get to level 64, you're going to have a lot of fun with RTA. And when I say a lot of fun, you're going to be pulling your hair out because it's not going to be an exciting time for you. But RTA, when you compare the rewards that you're getting for RTA by completing all of your objectives, you're getting, like, realistically, for $20 and grinding, right? Grinding through all of the objectives, you're getting a lot of really good stuff. Even if you're a player that doesn't need all of these things right now, there's a lot of gear that's here, a lot of things that are here that you're definitely going to need, right? You have your training modules. There's 15 of them right here. There's a lot of training modules that you get throughout completing, there's a good amount that you get from completing your objectives. Obviously, the character shards are great. You have these other stat catalysts, purple. There's a lot of purple, stat catalysts that are there, And once you go a little bit further on, you start getting these G14 mini uniques. And, you know, I know a lot of players always say, well, you can farm these G14 mini uniques, but the reality is for a lot of players who are probably just hitting level 60, like level 70-ish, you know, around that area, they can't do Doom campaigns yet. You need to kind of build out a decent roster in order for you to be able to actually do your get those G14s, you know, to complete all 3 chapters and then be able to farm them enough to get what we need, at least 12 characters into Dark Dimension 3. It's kind of a hard task to get done when you think about it all, right? So being able to get through the battle pass and get some of these mini uniques, they're helpful to progress you along the way. And now obviously for players who are, you know, kind of like at that mid to late game level or definitely late game level, you're getting these G15 uniques, which obviously you cannot farm those right now. The only way that you can get them is by purchasing them in the store, the supply store, you know, walleting them, right? Like actually forking out money to grab them. And then obviously from some other areas too, like your war store, opening up your Orange Gear War 2 orbs, or purchasing them or using your war store credits, you know, to grab that gear. Those are pretty much your only options. You can't farm them, you know, at all. So, and with those stores, it's all based on RNG. What you see is what you have to get, kind of thing, right? That's the only way you get it. So this RTA, it definitely does help to be able to acquire that sort of, you know, resources. So I would say, even though the RTA game mode within itself is not good, at least the rewards that you're getting for completing it are definitely worth the pricing, right? The $20 pricing, it's definitely worth it. And my question that I went back to was, okay, well, when it comes to the Strike Pass, if we eliminate the character Silver Surfer, at that point, does the stuff that you're getting here, is it worth the $20? I would say let's change that to RTA. With all the stuff that we just saw, we went through, and all the things that the G14 uniques, the training, you know, mats, the other gear, like the SBC, the ABCs, the SBCs, like all that stuff that's in there. If you took out the character, it's still definitely worth the $20 in my opinion, and still might somewhat be worth the grind. But when you look at Strike Pass, yes, you can complete all your dailies, but you have the optional dailies, which are not really optional within itself. You have to ultimately go about doing extra things in order to be able to complete all of those dailies, and then ultimately at the end of the Strike Pass itself, be able to attain all of those objectives and obtain all of those rewards. So for me, if you take away Silver Surfer from the Strike Pass, all the stuff that I'm looking at right here, while cool, yeah, 96 Orange Gear Raid orbs are good. 550 cores are good. 6 training orbs, I guess those are okay. 3 ability orbs, no. You know, 29 Purple Gear Raid orbs at Strike Pass 3, 240 ABCs and 240 SBCs. I think what I'm saying here is, guys, is that ultimately the Strike Pass, while it does address some of these bottlenecks, and I do want to address the fact that it does address some of the bottlenecks, because you are getting those orbs to be able to give you those pieces that you need. Ultimately, what I'm saying is, when we look at the value of the Strike Pass and we compare it to RTA, RTA is terrible, but the rewards that you're getting from RTA are worth the $20 and somewhat worth the grind. For Strike Pass, it's less of a grind, but there's extra things that you have to do to get all of these rewards. If you subtract Silver Surfer, I don't think that the rest of the things that you're getting here are worth it at all, in my opinion. But those are my thoughts, guys. Curious to hear what you guys are thinking. I still think that they need to address gold. They absolutely need to address red stars. That is something that is still yet to be addressed here. you know, and I know that it's not something that they mentioned that they were going to address, but because we're still talking about it, it's obviously a bottleneck in the game. Gold needs to be addressed. I also don't like the fact that Strike 2, you get red stars, but at Strike 3, you don't get red stars. At level 70, man, this is for level 70 plus. We need red stars the most because we have to face Dark Dimension 3 and Dark Dimension 4 and characters in Arena that are already boosted up with 5 or 6 red stars, 7 red stars. I can't combat that with only getting 2 or 3 red stars on a character. So I would say that wouldn't it warrant that level 70 also, or Strike Pass 3 should also have red star orbs as well? Like I would think that would be the case, right? But listen, let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Obviously, I wanted to follow up and give more of an objective sort of feedback towards Strike Pass, and just, you know, like I feel like the first time I did it, it wasn't like fully well thought out. I didn't really do the numbers and crunch them and then see exactly what, you know, you were getting from a rewards perspective, and then doing the value of it, like the value proposition in a sense, right? To figure out, hey, is this actually worth it? But I would say for Silver Surfer alone, yes, it's worth it. For the other stuff that you're getting, it's definitely not, you know, and I would just, you know, evaluate it based on that. Obviously, Silver Surfer is a fantastic character and he's definitely well worth the $20. You just kind of have to make up in your mind that, hey, I am buying Silver Surfer and I'm getting other bonus stuff. That's pretty much the way that you have to evaluate this. So if you're on the fence about whether or not you should buy the Strike Pass, if you want Silver Surfer, you know, at higher stars, definitely I would say it's worth it. If not, then maybe you go the freeway. You're still going to be able to get 50 shards for him. Go in the freeway, which gives you enough for you to be able to unlock Silver Surfer. He's great at low stars anyways. You know, he's really a top echelon character in the game, so it doesn't matter. You get him at 2 stars and invest into him, he's still going to be very good. Listen, guys, I appreciate you guys so much for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions about anything, of course. What are your thoughts on this, guys? Appreciate you guys so very much. Y'all be blessed and y'all be safe.